your glasses and put them on. It's time for the American Gladiators 3D Grand Championship. Today's Final Four. Cliff Miller, the Navy technician from aboard the SS Theodore Roosevelt, who flew through the competition like an F-15.
One thing I can say is just be on your best guard.
Dr. Marty DePaoli from Citrus Heights, California, a man who cracks heads for a living. Today, he's ready to crank it up and adjust some gladiators.
Because I don't want to get hurt.
On the women's side, Betsy Erickson, with all the grace of a champion gymnast, this Seattle product is tough as nails.
I just want to have fun, survive the day, and whatever happens, happens.
And Cheryl Wilson, the 5-time All-American heptathlete from LSU, has got the afterburner set on warp speed.
Better look out for some pretty wonderful stuff.
The Gladiators are ready. The best is about to meet the best. And it's all in 3D, so put your glasses on and let's get busy.
The Samuel Goldwyn Company presents the American Gladiators.
It's championship day here at Gladiator Arena, and we've added another dimension, a third dimension. Today's grand championship can be seen in 3D, so put on your glasses, and I guarantee you'll get a whole new look at today's events. Hi again, everyone. I'm Mike Adamle along with Larry Zonka. Glad you could join us for our grand championship. Larry, one thing's for certain, you don't need a pair of glasses to know that our contenders are very talented.
Well, not just talented, Mike, they're also experienced. But keep in mind, our Gladiators know that this is the grand championship, so they are ready.
And we're going to rock and roll in a big way, starting things off with Atlasphere. Our first half winner, Betsy Erickson, 24 years old, from Oak Harbor, Washington, where she's a gymnastics coach. And like we said, very, very gritty. Her opponent, our second half winner, Cheryl Wilson, the 5-time track and field All-American from LSU, now an exercise technician in cardiac rehab down in Lafayette, Louisiana. For the Gladiators, Diamond and her partner will be Sky. 60 seconds the time limit. Every time the contenders roll over the center of the scoring pods, it's worth 3 points.
Larry Thompson sends them on their way. Sky and Diamond beat both of our contenders to the punch and to the scoring pod, and they're both headed for pod number 1. Cheryl gets there first, but can't get it in. Diamond keeps her out.
Betsy faked a reverse, tried to lose Sky, and then push on to pod 1. Sky's right with her. We got a little pick situation. Cheryl with an opening.
Missed it at 3, now going for 4. Sky cuts her off, but Betsy gets one.
Betsy open for pod number 2, making her move. Nope, around the edge.
You see those silver scoring sensors in the middle of the pod. Contenders have to roll directly over them to make them activate. Down to 5 seconds now. The crowd counts it down, and that is it.
Betsy Erickson scores the only goal of the match and takes the early 3-0 lead.
Let's take a look at that goal right here. The only one scored. Betsy manages to get it in. A surprising situation considering how much these contenders had scored in previous matches.
Outstanding work by Diamond and Sky. On to the men we move. Tower, one of the Gladiators, 6'4", 260 pounds inside his cage. He'll be joined by Viper. The winner of the second half season, Marty DePaoli, won last week, beating Kevin Weber, the chiropractor from Citrus Heights, California. And he'll face off against our first half winner, this man, an exceptional athlete, our United States aviation technician aboard the USS Theodore Roosevelt, Cliff Miller, his name, 24 years old, from Jacksonville, Florida.
Mike, Doc Marty nursing a bruised shoulder, a sore ankle. He's got some little nagging injuries. He seems to be overcoming them well, though.
Whoa! And he and Viper collide. Wow. Cliff and Marty heading for the same scoring pod, number 4, and Viper and Tower keep them out.
Usually in this situation, one of the contenders will come free. I think Doc DePaoli's going to make the break for pod 4.
Cliff was down at pod number 1 with Tower on his back and couldn't score either. 25 seconds remain.
Dr. DePaoli reversing his field again. He's going down for 4. Here comes Cliff. I don't know what happened there.
10 seconds on the clock now. Cliff trying to budget in, cram it into number 4, can't do it.
That is it, and Viper and Tower ride herd on our 2 contenders. Marty and Cliff come up empty-handed in Atlasphere. Incidentally, our 2 grand champions will win these adventurous 4-wheel drive 2-door Suzuki sidekicks. Well, 1 event down, 7 more to come. Next up is Hang Tough, our ring game, where contenders have 60 seconds to cross this grid of 55 rings. Well, after 1 event, Larry, it's very apparent that our Gladiators mean business.
Well, I think you're right, Mike. It's terribly tempting as we watch Electra chalking up for the ring game to say that our contenders are off to a slow start, but I don't think that's the case. I think, on the other hand, it's the fact that our Gladiators recognize that this is the Grand Championship, and they are ready.
Electra has only been defeated once, that last week in the second half finals against Katie Ramsey.
Electra moving well, trying to head Cheryl off.
Cheryl needs points and Hang Tough. She can't wait to her best event, Powerball, in crunch time to pile up the points. Otherwise, she may fall too far behind. And this may be Betsy Erickson's best event.
Look at Electra move across ring to ring. Has a little problem wrapping up 2 of the rings there. Otherwise, she would have closed in on Cheryl a little sooner. Now she's stuck. Now she has to hang tough.
Cheryl has lost all momentum completely. So has Electra, for that matter. Time winding down.
Electra trying to get enough momentum to make a wild Superwoman dive at Cheryl, but just couldn't manage enough. So both our Gladiator and contender hanging tough right to the very end. Both are stalled. They've come to a standstill face to face. Electra making a valiant attempt to try to strip Cheryl off right at the end.
Okay.
Okay, what? Okay, I didn't get Cheryl, but I'll get Betsy. Let's see, Betsy with that gymnastics experience at the University of Washington, 2-1 in her 3 previous Hang Tough events. Has a chance to take the lead if she can get 10.
Seems like a good strategy, Mike. Come right out to the middle for the contenders. Wait for the Gladiator to make a move, to commit, then try to beat it around.
Betsy gets another ring. Oh, she had a chance there momentarily. Electra's got her all locked up and manages to pull off one of those.
She got it in the nose.
Yeah, Betsy Erickson fell directly on top of Electra, and there you can see blood on the bridge of her nose.
Electra overtaking Betsy, gets her legs wrapped around her. And she goes to strip this left hand off. It comes off, but all that momentum goes with her. She connects to the mat first, and it looks like her left knee jams up and hits her right in the nose.
And let's keep our fingers crossed she's okay.
This is championships. This is where champions are formed and champions are broke.
Our Lord of the Rings, Turbo, 15-1 with 5 draws to his credit. He may have his hands full with Cliff Miller, however. One of the finest athletes we have ever seen on American Gladiators, Cliff Miller. Turbo going right at him.
Cliff in his 2 prior efforts had draws both times and both against Tower. Right now, he's past Turbo, and he could be on his way to 10 points, a much-needed 10 points. Turbo in trouble. Cliff Miller, a clutch performance here. Yeah, oh man. He's
One
not
more
worried.
swing, and he's got it.
Yeah, that was clutch. Woo!
10 points. Take a bow, my man. Cliff Miller hands Turbo only his second defeat in this event.
Look at Turbo fighting it. He thinks he has him right there. He makes contact, turns him into a whirlybird. Cliff seizing the moment. He says, I'm getting out of here.
Once Turbo went into that spin, it was all she wrote, as Cliff Miller had a free run to Turbo's platform, and there he's home free. Well, can Marty duplicate that effort? His record suggests no, but we just saw Cliff come through in the clutch.
Turbo, very determined look on his face. He was so close to taking Cliff off when he went into that whirlybird. Perhaps he'll be a little more conservative on his approach this time.
You can already tell that he's more conservative. Closing in for the kill. He's got Marty wrapped up. This is not gonna last too long.
He's grinning. He says, we're gonna take a little trip right here, son.
So Turbo makes fairly short work of Marty DePaoli, and after 2 events, Cliff has the 10-0 lead. Once again, the power of Turbo.
Closes right in. That mistake he made with Cliff Miller does not happen again. He doesn't get into that whirlybird. He wraps up the contender. One jerk and down they go.
And I wondered what he whispered in his ear, and I wondered what it looks like in 3D. Stay with us for the Joust. One-on-one, contender versus gladiator. Hit me with your best shot. Time now for the Joust, event number 3 here in this Grand Championship. Our women will start things off. Betsy Erickson trailing Cheryl Wilson by 2 points. Draws Storm.
Again, the contender has 30 seconds to try to knock the gladiator from that platform. If they can do that, it is worth 10 points.
Whoa, nice move by Betsy. Storm with that big blow off the bat, almost lost her balance.
Storm starting to wail away now.
Betsy more concerned with defense rather than offense.
Now she's getting offensive. 6 seconds to go. And if things don't change here in a hurry, it looks like Betsy Erickson. Did she get it? That was so close. Our referee, Larry Thompson, is going to take a look at the tape.
Right here, check the clock in the lower right hand of your screen as Betsy gets that haymaker laid on her jaw. She misses by 1/10.
In a very close decision, contender Betsy Erickson was knocked from the pedestal just prior to time expiring. Therefore, no points in the Joust.
Tough break for Betsy. Let's take a little different view of the Joust through Storm's helmet cam. This is exactly what our gladiators see.
And Betsy Erickson misses out on a draw by just 1/10 of a second. Well, Cheryl Wilson doesn't want a cliffhanger here. She wants a clear victory.
Mike, Cheryl does not like this event. She says this isn't at all like anything on the track. She's doing a pretty good job. She's wailing. She's wide open, though.
I guess she figures she's got nothing to lose. This is the Grand Championship. No more jousts after this. So why not be aggressive? 15 seconds to go.
Storm catches her across right on the beam as she goes off the platform.
Cheryl had it going there for a second, and then all of a sudden Storm, with that power she possesses, able to get Cheryl off balance.
Check it out, just as Cheryl goes off, Storm gives her another shot right there.
Oh, man.
That had to make the butterflies flutter right there.
One for good measure. Don't worry, Cheryl, it's all over. You don't have to worry about it anymore. To the men we go. Cliff Miller has a 10-0 lead over Marty DePaoli. Marty up first. He draws Tower. Marty with a 1 win under his belt in his 3 previous jousting efforts. And the record of Tower.
Marty scored 10 points last time out, 4 seconds against Havoc. And he's raising some havoc with Tower, but Tower says no way.
Tower stinging from his only defeat this season. He's kept it in his back of his mind for a little added incentive. Took him all of 7 seconds to knock the Doc off the platform.
Let's take a look at it through Tower's helmet cam. You see his head bounce around a little bit of the results of the blows coming from that pugil stick of Doc DePaoli. Doc being off balance, Tower pushes him off.
Now up Cliff Miller. His dad is here today. Otis flew all the way from Cincinnati, Ohio last night to be here with his son. Boy, is he a scrapper, Larry.
He's waging war on the big man. Now he's off balance. Tower unable to sweep him off, though. Two powerful blows. Cliff withstood both. Now he's off. Lost his balance.
That was it. But for a while there, Cliff Miller gave Tower all he could handle.
Cliff going a little too far to the edge. Loses his balance more than anything. If you take a look at it through Tower's helmet cam, he's just raining havoc down on Cliff's head. Cliff able to withstand all that and then gets himself off balance. He has to be frustrated.
And we are jamming here at Gladiator Arena, 3D style. Viper has his share of fans here at Gladiator Arena. Our next event, Skytrack. A look at our course hanging from midair, suspended from the arena ceiling. After 3 events, Cliff Miller has the 10-0 lead. He'll be in lane 1. In lane 2, our Gladiator Turbo. And in lane 3, Dr. Marty DePaoli. Turbo will be the pace setter. The contestants will have to race end-to-end over this Velcro surface. First contender to beat the Gladiator across will win 10 points. Turbo gets out to the fast start, but here comes Cliff Miller. He's wide to the outside. They're side by side.
Neck and neck at the halfway point. Cliff Miller with that good technique. Coordination of hands and feet.
Turbo was the first man to reach the turnaround point. He is now headed for home. Cliff Miller, who has gotten 10 in his 2 prior Skytrack efforts, may finish third this time. Turbo wins it. Who's going to get the 5? Marty DePaoli does.
Yes! Yes!
So Doc cuts into Cliff's lead, just edging him out there across the finish line. That's how close it was. Contenders and Gladiators always feel disoriented in this event, so we're gonna have a little fun and flip-flop the Skytrack course. Here's what it looks like right side up. That's wild. Looks like they're floating on a cushion of air, Larry.
I'll tell you what, it emphasizes the importance of the feet. Watch the Contenders and Gladiator alike. Watch their feet. Look how seldom they utilize their feet to maintain their balance. This is a great way. This is like a coaching tool. Really a great way to analyze exactly what you did wrong as well as right.
And Turbo did everything right to win that race.
Tired fellas. Let's put them right side up again. Or rather, back to upside down.
Well, our women will be upside down. Cheryl Wilson has a 5-3 lead on Betsy Erickson. They're set to go in Skytrack. Cheryl will be in lane 1. Our Gladiator Siren in lane 2, and Betsy will be in lane 3.
Gladiator ready!
Betsy Erickson goes out a little bit too fast, gets hung up in turn number 1. And right now it is Siren tearing it up. Look at her go. Wow, she's flying, Larry. The first to reach the turnaround point.
Betsy hot on her heels. Betsy picked up some of that lost ground. Betsy doing a good job. Feet and hands coordination, but she's not looking back, and she's getting into those turns before she realizes she's there.
Siren, on the other hand, mistake-free. She will cross the finish line first. Betsy Erickson, by being the first contender across, gets 5 points for finishing second.
Cheryl Wilson says, put me back on the ground where I do my best work.
And Siren's time, she smoked the Skytrack, 33 seconds. So Betsy now with an 8-5 lead after 4 events.
Betsy, great timing, great moves, has some problems in the turn. She's in that far lane, lane 3, furthest away from you. Siren in that center lane, doing a great job.
Siren, a personal best time, 33 seconds. You shaved 4 seconds off your previous best. Arms, legs, what was the secret for you?
I think it was my last day adrenaline rush. These are the best, you know. You got to give it your 100%.
How about the crowd here at Gladiator Arena all going like this, too?
Beautiful. I love that. There's so much support for me. Thank you all.
Nice going. Great effort in Skytrack, Siren. And her Gladiator teammates love her as well. She has developed quite a following. Time now for human cannonball, where the swing's the thing. The swing on the part of our two contenders as they try to knock off our two gladiators. Marty DePaoli trailing Cliff Miller by 5. Each contender given 2 swings, each successful swing worth 5 points. Viper and Turbo, the Gladiator tandem. Marty draws Turbo. Clifton's got Viper. Turbo and Viper hoping to stand their ground. Turbo does. Cliff missed the platform he was supposed to sit on. And actually, his legs dragged across the ground.
Well, I have a little inside information. He thought, after talking with one of the other contenders, that he could get a better swing by not sitting on the seat. Obviously, bad information.
Very bad. He was done in by the coefficient of friction.
He looked bad.
Second swing coming up for our two men.
Coefficient of friction. I like that, Mike. Where'd you find that? Is that a crossword puzzle?
Here they come, swing number 2. And
there he goes! DePaoli, great form. Tucked into that cannonball, nice straight swing. Makes a contact with the hip, a little bit of the shoulder. Puts Viper on the edge, but Viper can't regain his balance, and off he goes.
And after 5 events, we have a 10 tie, and Viper getting the business again from the crowd here. Turbo, however, stands his ground. To the women we go. Diamond, Sky, our 2 female gladiators. Betsy nursing a slight 3-point lead. First of 2 swings.
Contenders ready.
She's got that small, powerful build. If she can double up into a cannonball, she's got the weight and enough power. We'll see if her swing's straight enough. She takes Sky off. She did exactly what we spoke about. She got the good tuck, good swing. Met it shoulder and hip. Came up high on Sky, but still enough to get under and push her off the platform.
Diamond managed to hold her ground against Cheryl. And Betsy still can't believe she knocked Sky off. All right, second swing now. Gotta be able to do it. They're gonna flip-flop gladiators.
She's eager. Sees an opportunity to open a 10-point lead.
Big
Good
swing
form.
by both women. Oh man, Diamond stands her ground. Sky goes off again. So both women pick up 5 points in human cannonball.
Cheryl coming through in the clutch. This is probably one event where Sky's height actually hurts her.
As the fans here in Gladiator Arena are having the 3rd-dimensional time of their life. Event number 6 here in our Grand Championship, Assault Tower Ready. Incidentally, we have talked to our trainers and we understand that Electra will miss the rest of this competition. She broke her nose, but it is our understanding that she's going to be just fine. So that indeed is good news. As we have said many times, this is the event where contenders can pick up 10 points by hitting that target. That certainly will be Marty's mission. He and Cliff locked in a 10-10 tie.
I'm sure Doc would like to see some other gladiator up there at the cannon.
Right now, however, he's got no choice.
Oh! Looked like it got him to me.
Referee Larry Thompson right on top of it. One of the things that our referee watches is if that ball changes direction in midair.
And it was obviously deflected in flight that time. Just snagged the chest protector from Doc Marty.
So Cliff Miller's got a golden opportunity. He fires one weapon successfully. He's tied with Marty. Anything after that is gravy. He beat Tower in the first round, actually.
Contender ready!
Cliff Miller on his way.
Ooh, close again.
Almost the same place that Doc was hit.
Tower the marksman.
Cliff with that patented stutter step move.
Oh, that looks like it was very close.
25 seconds now. Cliff now with 2 final chances at station number 5. Both high of the mark. He just decided to get up and run and go for it. Testing Tower's aim, it paid off. He picks up the bonus point, gets 6 for his effort, and now leads 16-11 after 6 events.
Mike, old jocks like us respect speed. Cliff just turned on the jets and used that speed to finish up.
Tower's desperation shot missed. Diamond now, thumbs up. Ready to assume her posture behind that assault cannon. Betsy Erickson up first. Hold your horses, I'll get to her in a second. Diamond's an old pro up there.
Not a bad shot. Just a little high. An excellent shot by Diamond, though. Left arm, 1 point.
So Betsy now leads 14-10. Here's how Diamond did it. Betsy didn't have a chance. Cheryl has done quite well in this event. 2 direct hits and a draw. Cheryl scored 10 in the prelims, 10 in the second round. Big event for, remember, crunch time next, and that's Powerball.
Ooh, she turned her eyes away from that cannon. Diamond almost tagged her.
40 seconds remain. Cheryl sets herself. Boy, I hate when the contenders do that, Larry.
Well, they get hunkered over and they think they're behind the shooting station, but our Gladiators can shoot right through most of those shooting stations. Oh,
under 25.
Got one in a kisser.
Right as I said that,
Cheryl applauds Diamond for a great shot.
She did fire 3 weapons for 3 points, but a good thing she was wearing that mouthpiece.
Absolutely, Mike. She settles in here with a crossbow, thinking she's protected. Watch this shot come in from the right side of your screen. Wham! Right at the end of the nose. Upper lip shot. Diamond is something else with that cannon.
Well, you ready for Powerball in 3D? I know the guys in the truck are. You guys want to go back to work? Come on.
Motley crew.
Let's go!
Storm, Siren, and Sky giving themselves a pre-game pep talk, and why not? It's crunch time here in our Grand Championship, our crunch time event, Powerball. Low scoring affair so far between Betsy Erickson and Cheryl Wilson. Betsy with the 1-point lead, but I think that's a tribute to our Gladiators. They have been exceptionally tough in this Grand Championship. Powerball brought to you by Nintendo, makers of Super NES. Now you're playing with power, super power. 45 seconds to time limit. Goals in that center cylinder worth 5 big points.
Betsy Erickson has one roll off the rim, and so does Cheryl Wilson. Now Cheryl turns on the afterburners.
She's got that great move, still gets it in with Storm in her face. She still manages to score.
The way she looks the Gladiator square in the eye and then gives him the hip fake, and it's all over.
Betsy gets a little closer, but manages to stuff one in the corner, right over top of Siren.
15 seconds remain. Cheryl Wilson is not running away with this Powerball match.
She is quick, Mike. Not only with her feet, but with her hands. Slides by Storm there. She snakes one in on Sky.
That is it. Not an avalanche of points for Cheryl Wilson, but enough to put her in the lead going into the Eliminator.
And that's going to make her awfully tough to beat. Once again, the formula for success for Cheryl Wilson: quickness, quickness, and more quickness. There she out-quick Storm and beats Sky to the punch there.
Cheryl almost makes it look easy. Betsy with a little more direct approach. She tries to power through the Gladiators. Sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't.
It worked there. All right, Viper, Tower, Turbo, our three Gladiators set for men's Powerball. Here's how things stand between Marty DePaoli and Cliff Miller. Cliff with the 5-point lead. Cliff, much like Cheryl Wilson, is excellent in the Eliminator, which means Marty's going to have to pile up the points here in Powerball.
Once again, 45 seconds. Cliff trying for a power move and tried to split that double team, couldn't do it. Marty scored against Tower.
Clifton gets that one-on-one situation. He almost makes it look easy. There he gets one in.
Unbelievable. Yeah, Turbo and Viper all over him.
Great body control.
10 seconds to go. Marty's got to come up with a big push. Three seconds left.
Cliff wins it 15-3 and pads his lead to 31-14.
You know, Mike, for a skinny kid, this kid, he doesn't hesitate to take on two Gladiators. He pays the price there, but look at the moves. Even when he's tied up with two Gladiators, he has the presence of mind to slip that ball in the goal.
Cylinder was still going down, and then he uses that long reach to score. Marty, on the other hand, was victimized by his own mistakes. He had a free run there, simply missed the bucket. Well, coming up, the Eliminator will decide our grand champions in 3D. Our grand champions will soon be crowned here at Gladiator Arena. Only the Eliminator stands in the way. In women's competition, Betsy Erickson stayed close to Cheryl Miller until Powerball. Now the former LSU track star has some breathing room and a 4-second head start going into the Eliminator. So Betsy will have to come up with a tremendous come-from-behind effort if she is to win. She's with Larry at the start line.
Betsy, it's been a back-and-forth battle all day long. You've got a 4-second deficit. What's your mindset?
Go over 110%, give it all I got, and whatever happens, happens, and I'll see you at the finish line.
All right, good luck.
Thanks, Larry.
Nothing to it but to do it, Betsy. Why worry and stress yourself out? Just do it the best you can and hope that Cheryl Wilson makes a mistake. On course for the Gladiators. Underneath the hand bike, they have a chance to breathe and pose a little bit in this event. It's Siren and Storm. However, working the gauntlet down the final straightaway, it'll be Sky and Diamond. And the Eliminator is brought to you by Starburst Fruit Chews. The juice is loose. Once again, Betsy Erickson has to make up a 4-second head start deficit. Once again, the winner takes home 10 grand. Cheryl Wilson, that track background, helped her in that incline treadmill, no problem there. Betsy, down she goes on the treadmill, and that almost certainly will spell defeat for her. Cheryl Wilson flies across the spinning cylinder, now on the cargo net. So smooth, so effortless. Cheryl already on the zip line. Referee Larry Thompson giving Betsy the pass on the treadmill after 3 attempts. Futile attempts. Now she's on her way, headed for home, but it's going to be Cheryl Wilson, our American Gladiators grand champion. Meanwhile, Betsy continues to struggle on the cargo net. Not the kind of day our gymnastics instructor envisioned for herself. And the crowd here at Gladiator Arena not giving up on Betsy Erickson. They're bringing her home. tough competitor. Remember, she lost in the second round to Jennifer Walls, but qualified for the semis as a wild card. Never gave up. Today, she was just beaten by a superior athlete, but Betsy Erickson, who was our first half winner, did herself proud.
First off, Betsy, congratulations on finishing.
Oh, God. That little speed on the treadmill just killed me.
It looked as if you were thinking ahead to something else, and the treadmill kind of got you by surprise.
I don't know. Oh, God. It was hard, really hard. And after looking down once, I lost it all.
Well, you've been a great competitor all day long, all show long. Congratulations for being our runner-up. Cheryl, gal, you made it look easy one more time.
I tell you, it was tough out there, but I had to just be positive even when I was down, be a real competitor, and just do it. You know, I had it.
Well, you did it, and congratulations. You are our grand champion.
Thank you.
All right, congratulations, both of you. Mike?
And what a fine champion she is, Larry. Her and Betsy Erickson hug. Betsy fighting back the tears a bit, but she is nothing to be embarrassed about. Her effort was pure all the way. Cheryl Wilson, our grand champion. There's her boyfriend, Marty. She's going to take home a lot of memories back to Lafayette, Louisiana. How sweet it is. In men's play, Clifton Miller survived a dreadful start by scoring 31 points in the last 3 events. Now has a 17-point lead on Marty DePaoli, meaning the Navy technician will get an 8.5-second head start. Translation, Dr. Marty will need the finishing kick of his life if he is to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. He's with Larry at the start line.
Doc, you're a battler. Been back and forth all day long. You're going to have to overcome an 8.5-second deficit, which means literally Clifton's going to have to make a mistake. If he does, can you win it?
Yeah, I can win it. Even about 1 second at this point with this competitor is an eternity. Somebody's going to have to make a mistake.
If he does, you'll be on him.
I'll be there.
All right, good luck, Doc.
Thanks, Doc.
Well, Marty has jumped on all the competition by way of comparison. Cliff Miller's best eliminator time, 33 seconds. Marty, not bad either, 34 seconds. But again, he faces the 8.5-second deficit. The chiropractor from Citrus Heights, California. In attendance, his brother Ted, an attorney, and also his girlfriend, Kim Short. On course for the Gladiators. Only one Gladiator down there this time, ready to enforce the penalty. It's the Viper Man. And down the final straightaway, Turbo and Tower will get that gauntlet cooking. Hoping to make that final stretch run more difficult for Cliff and Marty. Marty waiting impatiently at the start line. Cliff all the way to the cargo net. Smooth, fluid, Clifton Miller, mistake-free. And it is Marty who makes the mistake. And you can mail this one in. Cliff Miller, so outstanding all competition long. We said after the prelims that it was a little premature to call him the best athlete we have seen here on the American Gladiators, but right now, as our grand champion, he ranks among the best. Clifton Miller from Jacksonville, Florida, our Navy technician, wins it in a time of 37 seconds as the rest of the crowd here in Gladiator Arena cheering Marty on to the finish line. Well, Marty was a long shot to begin with, but when he made this mistake on the cylinder, this officially ended his quest for the Grand Championship.
Doc, you did a great job. It's tough on the Eliminator. Looked like you took the big gamble and, well, you just missed.
Yeah, I missed, but I hit a wall.
Well, you've executed perfectly through all the shows and all the competitions and gave a great account of yourself, and congratulations on being the runner-up. Clifton, perfect execution as usual. I know your dad's in attendance, Otis, and how much did that mean to you? Did that give you a little extra in this Eliminator?
Yes, most definitely. It's always a good feeling to have a loved one near, and my pops and I are like this. And it's just a great feeling to have him here with me on.
Well, he did a good job because you are our grand champion. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Larry.
All right. Good job, both of you. Mike?
Thank you, Larry. And two classy athletes, Clifton Miller and Marty DePaoli. Interestingly enough, that both of them look at their appearance here on the American Gladiators as a vehicle to reach out and touch kids in a positive way, and I don't think there's any question about it. They did that and more. But Clifton Miller, our grand champion for this season. And as he accepts congratulations from the fans, we'll be back with more of the American Gladiators after this.
I'm 6'3", and I weigh about 188 pounds today. It's like being hit by a Volkswagen. And that flying off the platform is not something you can do graceful, no matter how great a gladiator you are. If I take someone down in Powerball and I hurt them, there's no one that's more hurt than I am about that, you know, and I'll be the first one there to help them up and to be concerned about them.
When we began last fall, 48 contenders were hoping to become champions, and now 2 finally have. But today's Grand Championship was really a tribute to all of those who have shed blood, sweat, and tears here at Gladiator Arena. But it's not necessarily the outcome that defines the winner. It is the effort, and Larry, there was certainly no shortage of that.
Lots of effort. I'll tell you what, gladiators and contenders alike have all had a good time. Heaven knows they've certainly suffered enough bumps and bruises along the way. But more importantly, they've all learned something about themselves, and that's what athletic competition is all about.
And Larry, with that in mind, let's go directly to our awards platform. Introducing today's championship finalists. Our women's runner-up, our gymnastics coach from Oak Harbor, Washington, Betsy Erickson. Our men's runner-up, chiropractor Dr. Marty DePaoli. And introducing our new grand champions, and here they are, our women's champion from Lafayette, Louisiana, Cheryl Wilson. And our men's champion, United States Navy technician from Jacksonville, Florida, Clifton Miller. Larry, once again, it's been a blast.
Pleasure's been all mine, Mike.
For all of us here at Gladiator Arena, I'm Mike Anley. See you next season, everyone.